advertisements.
It's okay, guys. We're no longer in the Hellstorm with the Hellsinger music. It's all good.
Wow.
You say it like that music was bad. I adore that music.
I know.
It's a glorious music.
I just have one thing to double check.
Uh-huh.
To upgrade a skill from 5 to 6 is like 3 of the skill points, right?
Yep.
Yes. Or use a skill tablet. We currently have two. We currently have 2 skill tablets.
I used one.
1 skill tablet. We currently have 1 skill tablet.
Hello,
I
Green
don't-
Wolves and Taika.
Howdy.
So I raised my guile.
Just looking at my tutor points that I have.
Tutor points. Green Wolf size high. Gotta share the class.
Sorry, what did you say?
Green Wolf size pies. Gotta share with the class.
Oh! What kind of pie?
Key lime.
Is that what he said?
Mm-hmm.
No
Key lime's
thanks.
Alright.
I made it myself.
Heck yeah.
Hello,
Just like I
Chris.
had hamburger. Just like I made hamburger helper myself. I'm now stuffed. And it is also storming here, so everything's muggy.
Do we have any journals today?
I do.
Unfortunately not.
Journal
That's
time.
not bad.
I just look at the temperature outside, and it's the nice number. It doesn't feel like it.
It is 73 degrees there.
That's just a bad sign for me. It's like, oh, right. We're crossing over into summer here pretty soon. Kill me now.
Oh, why? Emerald will kill you.
No!
Okay, let me do a quick. Yeah, that.
Thinking about a minute or so, we can probably start. They have key lime pie and cheesecake. I'm just having chili and coffee. Best combination.
I know you said chili and coffee, but that could almost sound like Chilean coffee.
All right. What I have that I'm going to kick is currently defrosting.
As it is, I'm going to turn Crisp off for OBS because I have noticed in previous sessions that my voice gets really muffled. And I'm not a fan of that.
Fair enough.
Cat, come on. There. Not there.
Hi, Portia.
So viewers, let me know if I sound okay during stream. And whenever Bryce is ready, he can do his journal.
Alright. Let me just... do that. Step 1, close the door. Step 2, background music.
Put it on 2.
There you go.
It's like step 2, put it on 2.
Okay. Well, yesterday had a lot of things going on in it. So, let's start from the top. I got a discussion with Shiva in regards to training maneuvers. It's something I admittedly will be working to improve. I'm not sure who mentioned it. Probably someone from Turbo or Thunder Spear, but it was mentioned that we can't fix all of our problems by punching it. You gotta get creative with some of them. So, I need to adapt and learn how to do that. Grappling is something I can figure out, along with tripping an opponent, but... yeah, I'm gonna need some help with this. I'll ask around later on today, see what I can do, but I'm getting sidetracked. A particular blight upon the world, known as Hugor, is finally done and dusted. He broke out of prison with one hell of a body count. Today was supposed to be peaceful, but he was definitely a factor to ensure it was anything but. We pursued him, but got slowed down by more of his flame freaking distortions. Several other teams were either focused on helping the town or trying to deal with him too. However, there was Team New Dawn. What was personal became business, as they, along with the rest of Ruben's family, were the ones to deliver the final strike to end everything. Given the condition of the family compared to when we fought the guy, either he was holding back when we fought him and this was some sort of master plan, or he was a lot more desperate this time and, well, it showed. All we saw the fight was a massive Draco meteor that decorated the sky. And as if that wasn't the end of our problems, Mountain Hellfire started to erupt. We got a warning from our good friend Danica. I thought this guy had the last laugh after he was eliminated, but no, it was worse. Much worse, actually. We went in there to investigate whatever was going on, weathering the temperature, the environment, the locals, and the rocks. So many rocks.
Hello.
Hello there. Here's the heart of the problem. Paul and I ended up on fire once or twice, but given where we were, it comes with the territory. We were fine. A little scarred, a little scorched, but fine. When we got to the center of the mountain, who else would be there but a freaking pissed off Entei? It was kind of like when we fought Reiku. Angered beyond reasonability, and instead of water, now there's lava everywhere. I'm not touching that. Fun fact, and here's a fun fact, turns out Entei roaring causes volcanoes to erupt. I learned that from Padrock. So we kinda need to stop that. They were relentless, but it was nothing we couldn't handle, and nothing we've never handled before. We pulled through, made it work, we calmed them down. Or at least knocked them out to calm them down. We even saw one of Rai's friends, Entei's equivalent. The name escapes me at the moment, but I digress. Either way, they came to get Entei after we stopped them. But the volcano was still erupting. It got worse. From the side of the freaking mountain, the symbol appeared as a giant freaking mega evolved. Excuse me. Primal Groudon appeared before us. This was what actually caused the volcano to go berserk. I lost count of how many times this guy tried to blow us up. Or try to make us regret so much as breathing in his vicinity. We had a lot of power and a lot of options to make our lives miserable, despite the fact that we had a couple of tools to take this guy down. Now, we've gotten a reputation of taking on legendary Pokemon, I will admit that, but this one was different. We didn't even take it out. It just... We survived. We survived long enough for a giant frickin' green snake to come by and blasting back to sleep in the mountain. Padra called it Rayquaza, and apparently it was also this special primal thing. Look, you get the point that when I said yesterday was freaking mental. Okay. So, how are we now? Well, we're alive. We're home. Malva hasn't been destroyed in fire and brimstone. And we're going through a bit of a massive shift in our team structure, but we're doing our best. That's the best I could put it. Though I will say this, I need to sit down with my fox friend and see if I can get a list of all the legends, because I've lost count of how many we fought. I don't know how many we haven't met, and at this point, we're going to be seen as some sort of legend slayer. Problems for another day, I suppose. End of entry.
Apparently, Klonoa has visited us in the chat. I do see a Wahoo.
God dang it, the jingle immediately pops in my head.
One moment.
What, the Klonoa jingle?
Yes. I blame Pythagoras.
Alright. So, with that...
Speaking of Rye, I need to remind myself to talk to him later.
Maybe. But we shall start in session 77. That'll be fine, right?
Famous last words.
It's perfectly fine.
So, we're going to start in the tavern or the training ground?
Start in the training ground. I need a moment.
Alright.
Let's see. Reference.
Okay. Nothing, just I was hoping to try and do something, but alas.
Lizzie's
So-
making that face again.
Actually, I'm gonna put it back here. Sorry. You can see Levi just to the side, stretching out, and just trying to make himself that much more flexible. Doing his basically general stretches to just ensure that whatever he does next, he doesn't hurt himself.
You do this every day?
Well, almost. I'd say every other day would be better. You got that face expression that tells me that something's on your mind. What's up?
Well, kind of gravitated towards coming here because I notice I've been struggling with dealing one particular type of thing.
Water?
No, special moves.
Special moves.
I have reflect. I did have light screen, but I can't have both.
I see. Is there a way to get both aside from, say, use a TM?
I saw Jirachi do it. If she can do it, then I can too. So the question is how?
Well, I can't exactly fly, but I do see your reasoning. Or breathe underwater, for that matter. Maybe
You can breathe underwater?
Lugia can.
Got it. So...
Either way, do you have an idea as to how? How many times have you seen them do it?
Only the one time, but it was enough for me to get a gist of the idea. It's just a matter of trying and see what happens.
Okay.
Though, that would probably be as reckless as trying to reuse the move over and over again until something changes, and that is the recipe for insanity.
Indeed. Maybe we should ask a friend. I mean, I'd imagine Apollo may know something about this, or maybe even Padrock. Something to study.
Well, before we do that, I imagine you're here for something as well?
I am, but it's a bit hard to do solo.
Uh-huh.
Make
That's
a
why
long...
you brought me here?
I thought you were here of your own volition.
I'm joking.
Fair enough. No. To elaborate, something that I remember hearing from one of the other teams. He paused a moment and looked down to these three. Maybe it was from one of them. Maybe Fairno said it. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked.
Funny you mentioned that. Just points across the way, over to where the other side of the train yard.
Oh yeah, no, I see them. That's why I said it. I was trying to remember. I don't know who told it, but the words kind of just echo in my head. We're gonna need more than just... We can't fight all of our problems. We're gonna have to be creative in some aspects. And I'm trying to figure out how. And a lot of that comes into learning more about combat maneuvers.
Oh, you mean like how you've been using seismic toss, only it's not the actual move, but the other method?
Something like that.
So what, are you needing somebody to test that on, or...?
I may need a teacher on it, but I'd like to at least try and get some practice to figure out how it goes, how it works.
Well, I can at least teach you the strong way of doing it. However, I cannot teach you the technical way of doing it.
Well, gotta start somewhere, he said calmly.
Good.
But,
Then, hold still.
Wait, what are you doing?
You just see that red glint in his eye as he just casually Masatsu child.
Wait, what are you doing? Just watch the balloon just skates across the ground. Do I need to roll athletics or combat? Actually, what are you doing? That is the first question.
Yeah, hang on. I just had to make sure that it wouldn't work first.
It would be maneuvers.
Yep.
Ah.
Oh, you just barely skate past it.
So like Luffy does get a hold and basically lock him in place before Levi just After a brief moment of like, what the heck is going on, he kind of just puts his hand on Olivia's shoulders and twists a bit, using his tail for a bit extra momentum before popping out of the hold and landing back on the ground.
Oh, good. So you do have your good reaction speed.
What were you trying to do?
Oh, nothing. Just a simple grapple. You've seen me do it before.
Yes. I think.
Put simply, I was going to prevent you from moving, is essentially what it is.
Oh. Like a bear hug or an arm lock.
To a degree. Though, how do you know it's not just an excuse for me to hug you?
He just quietly squints at that, like...
He gets that smug look on his face. You know he's joking.
Given it's you, I'd be worried about the crystals.
Funny you mention that. I don't think that really works all the same. You'd think it would, but it doesn't. Though it does give them a reason not to struggle.
Yes, I'm going to hold you. Do not resist.
So, your turn. Try it.
Sure. He takes a moment to think about how to do it before deciding to do it. To just basically move forward a bit before... Let me just do this, and... that. But you see, he just uses his tail instead to just kind of just loop it around and just grab hold of Olivia around the waist, trying to lock their arms to the side.
He catches your tail and just stops it dead in its tracks. It's like, sorry, not this time. No pizza for you.
Huh. Fair enough. Certainly one way to avoid it.
You rely a little too much on that tail sometimes, I swear.
It's useful.
And it does a lot of damage.
Oh yeah, obviously. He just puts the tail back in the ground and just props himself up, floating a bit, balancing.
Luby just gets a single idea as you're doing that. I can't imagine what it is, but can't possibly be the trip.
Does miss, though.
Yes, but we weren't looking at the AC, were we? The intent is that we're supposed to be using the skill check, correct?
Fair.
Roll with disadvantage.
Fair enough.
Levi. Alibi can roll normally.
Wait, I need... Okay.
Because you're on the
this is fair.
Yeah. Yeah. Acrobatics is not my strong suit, as you can see.
So Levi gets pushed. And sure, he falls over, but it's just like, puts one hand on the ground, second hand, proceeds to just flip and just land back on his feet.
You ought to be careful with using that tail the way you are sometimes. You never know what someone might do.
Yeah, with friends like you.
Well, see, I trusted that you'd be able to come out of it just fine.
And I did. But there's also one more maneuver I can think of that's rudimentary. And with that, he just lifts a hand. This, actually, come to think of it, this actually may hurt.
You think this is going to hurt, Aluvi?
Oh, not you. It's gonna hurt me.
Oh,
Just aim to avoid the gems. Just don't think about it. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. He just extends a hand and just pushes. There's quite a bit. There's actually, I'm gonna roll first before I say that. Ah, not nearly enough force.
indeed. We have exactly the same roll. Defense wins.
Defense.
There always wins.
But no, he just pushes, and there is some force behind the arm. But hi, I'm pushing a rock.
It's like he just kind of ever so slightly tilts backward, but then he just goes, "What was that supposed to be?"
I was trying to push you.
He just looks at you with that knowing look, like, "You tried to push me."
Next time, I'll use both hands.
Ooh.
I'm going to roll. Okay.
To be fair, there was no way that he saw that coming. He's distracted by the fact that he was being about that push, and yeah, he got spooked.
Yeah, both of them just like jump and look.
I'm like, what the?
Just
Hi,
hi.
guys.
Hello, Felis.
Hi,
let me-
Felix.
Yeah, let me just, There you go. Later.
He did.
Oh.
What did he just do? Turns
Pulse.
around.
Levi just points like.
What? He just looks back at you. He did. Did he just turn them to substitutes?
How? Actually, Levi just walks up to one of them and is like, just he punches one like ever so gently to see if it's an illusion. Just like, because like, illusions usually break after you strike it.
Squeaky toy noise.
Nope, they're genuine. Huh.
I'm not even going to question it. At this point, Felis has done crazier things than this.
I have no words.
So, I'm going to assume that he wants us to stop trying to beat each other up and use the substitutes. Because he hasn't been watching.
Levi just shakes up the paw that he pushed Olivia with. Well, definitely would be a lot nicer for my hands.
Oh, is that why you pushed it so weakly? You were afraid you were going to cut yourself?
No. Maybe. Okay, sure, maybe a little bit.
I love this token because that's the face exactly he's giving you right now.
And Levi just looks over. Consider what happens to pretty much anything and everything that hits you.
I'm aware.
Then you understand why I'm a little bit hesitant, and I don't want to annoy the doctor.
You forget. I may be the tank, but I'm also the healer. Any damage you would have sustained would have been superficial, I assure you. Besides, don't you usually walk it off? Hmm?
I do. I do.
It's just like, don't pretend that that would have done anything to you, because it wouldn't have.
Fair.
So I can attest that it would have probably been very uncomfortable.
I can try again,
I'm not saying that you shouldn't.
No, you're not saying I shouldn't. I'm saying I should. And he would once more push again.
Not this time, son.
There was significantly more force behind it, but now that Aluvi was prepared for it, it's just like, nope, no motion, no motion.
Literally just anchored down to the ground.
There was, but he can attest there was significantly more force behind it this time.
See? You're fine.
Fair enough. Now, he would look over to the target in front of him. And this time, where's the button? I lost the button. There's the button. So let's try this.
He's going for the low blow on a substitute that's smaller than him. How low can you go?
And that's how Nimble was invented.
Roll new skills, and then
I swear to God, if this substitute has any amount of acrobatics, I will be laughing. Oh my God, it does!
wow, it actually has 3.
It still rolled a 7.
So you just see like Levi just he's looking at he made a stance, but he just looks like he's going for a punch, but he just kind of brushes past it before striking with his tail right effectively where someone's leg would be, or in this case the torso of the substitute doll.
And now the substitute ball is vulnerable.
If I didn't know any better, I swear you were trying to aim for the groin of that thing.
I was going for the leg. Or at least
do
where a leg
realize
would
those
usually
legs-
be.
Those legs are very stubby. It's
Yes!
really hard to tell.
Hence where legs would usually be.
Though, at least you tripped it up, if that was your intent.
It was to... Yes, kinda. Either way. He just decides to just...
He's just had enough with that at this point.
It's just like, he's not sure how to proceed with discussing with Aluvi to validate what he just did. So instead... I don't know what to do here. Take it out on the substitute doll. He's just pretty sick. Kick the substitute doll in the air, grab it, and just slam it into the ground.
Vulnerability, no evasion. Assuming this thing had evasion to begin with.
Well, they have certainly made it take a beating. That's all I can say.
Considering it's a creation of Felis, I would not be surprised that these things are enchanted in some way.
Hey, look at the brights. Look at the bright side. They're not a bunch of copies of Felis themselves.
Oh, it could have been much worse, yes, I'm aware.
That said, how many things do you think you can hit with your earthquake?
Why?
I was about to roll. Let's see. I mean, do you think you can hit all 3 of these? Or do you think you can hit all 3 of these with the earthquake?
Maybe?
Just practice. Give it a try.
Oh yeah, he can. Well, if you
Barely.
insist, if anyone comes running and looking where that noise came from, I'm going to blame you.
And I'll take full responsibility.
crunch. The substitute dolls bounce like freaking rag dolls.
And just like that, we toppled all the villains at once. Ah, huzzah!
And like we would just gives a pragmatic applause, and thus the town is saved. Yay!
What is this? What is this? Like a cut-in for something else?
I'm being silly. I don't get to be silly often.
I just swear this is like Powerpuff Girls, like cut in.
Beautiful. But admittedly, I would have to be over here to do similar to what you just did, because those are a bit far apart from me. And with that, he just stares at them for a moment before deciding to try and mix it up a bit. Actually, let's do it this way. So he moves up and tries this. Wait, no, that's not what I wanted to do.
Low blow!
Hold on. I said blind. That's better. He just kind of moves up. As he's walking, you just see his tail dig a little bit into the dirt. And then just proceed to just splash it forward.
He substitutes stealth.
He just splashed the sand over the face of the substitute doll before he backs up a bit and takes full advantage. Wow.
The game says no.
The game said no. But I'll describe it as such. For Aluvi, it just looks like he tried to do it, but given how tall Levi is and how small the substitute dolls are, the tail just kind of it would have just given them a haircut, but it would miss.
Oh god, I heard the miss noise. If I didn't know any better, Levi, I swear those things made a noise when you missed them.
He just quietly stares. He stares like, no, you're not mistaken. I realize Felix is the prankster.
So I wasn't just hearing things. However, treat them as if they were smaller than you, and maybe it will work. So, I'm questioning the viability of throwing sand in something that has no eyes.
I mean, they said the same thing about Cyndaquil.
We don't talk about that. Besides, you'd be probably better off just poking their eye.
Levi looks to the sand and then looks to his hand and just opens his hand up looking at the claws. I dare say the sand's a mercy.
You know, I'm not going to argue that.
But even so, he would still try once more. And this time proceed to smack all three of them.
Winch.
Right, just gotta aim a lot lower than I intended.
Just a little bit of a curve.
Yes, and in this case, I guess I was aiming for the ankles.
If they even have any ankles left to begin with after that.
Perhaps. What?
Um. Uh. Hmm. Something ain't right. Something ain't right.
Who's that aiming for? He's like, he just like gets hit, like just takes a step back, almost falling over from the surprise of it, and just stares like.
You know, I think these are cursed. What do you think?
He just stares at it again. And squints.
Is that substitute making a ditto face at us?
I don't trust it. I don't trust it.
That's it. These are all dittos. I'm calling it now. Every one of them.
Well, let's give them a purpose then. And with that, where's the button? I want to do a button. He moves over to this one here. He grabs the substitute doll.
Which one?
But rather... this one. But rather than just pick it up, jump, and then slam it to the ground, no. This time he picks it up, jumps, and I should have flipped this. Picks it up, jumps, and then slams it down on top of the one neck behind him.
So what you're saying is suplex.
I'm gonna hit a substitute doll with another substitute doll. And effectively, yes, it'd be a suplex. And with that, he just backs up.
I was supposed to give them a purpose. How exactly?
Because you have no idea how much I've wanted to do that. Of being able to use seismic toss on something and move them elsewhere.
What the? You saw that too, didn't you? Bayless!
Hey, Luffy. Luffy,
Yeah?
do you have another earthquake in you?
Maybe? If I eat a leper berry.
We can get you a leper berry. Quietly staring at them like, I don't trust these things. I don't want to take my eyes off them now.
Levi, we're just gonna back away real slowly, pretend we didn't do anything here. We saw nothing. Nothing at all. We're gonna talk to Felix about this. This is way beyond my But wait, Levi, there's one thing that I just remembered.
Levi
Felix was able to just appear out of nowhere.
So he shoots this one with a Dragon Pulse when he saw it move. And then I'm actually not sure if that it's in range or not.
I'm pretty sure with that 8. Let's see. Just in range.
That's not in range. He can't shoot that one right now. He can shoot this one, but not that one.
Oh, I thought we were aiming at the other one on the right side.
Oh no, I was aiming for this one first. Like, he aimed for that one first.
It's like they saw the move.
You saw him move and he shot. Okay.
It's like, Faradar, whatever you do not interact with those training substitutes. They're cursed. Every one of them.
I mean, Levi just staring at them, like processing his next actions at this point.
You guys okay?
So Felis replaced the training dummies with substitutes, right? They have very, very clearly shown signs of life, and we don't know what to make of it, so we're terrified.
Oh, new training partners.
That's your reaction to this?
Just pop.
That's
his
fun.
up.
Oh no. Levi, we should probably go before they tear up this entire training yard.
No. Actually, you think we can provoke them to hitting you again? He's trying to hit you and test that reflect.
Huh.
We do, if they all can do what happened to us earlier, we do have options.
True, but again, I did mention that repeatedly doing that is like a trial in insanity.
Then let's at least see. Let's start with a baseline and see where we stand.
Fine. Just
I'll buy the leper berry for you.
no, that's not what I'm concerned about.
Okay. And with that, Levi decides to look forward and choose to step forth again. Alright. So which one are you gonna do it this time? He just kind of just stares at all of them. As though patrolling, waiting for them to make an action.
So it's like that one the meet the soldier from TF2 where he's just walking among the line of like helmets and they're all just helmets.
Basically, just waiting for them to.
There it is.
Levi would just lift the hand, and just block it, or at least take the hit. And what does Olivia have to roll for?
No, he doesn't really. He just has the marker that it's on for the amount that he has. It's just he doesn't know if this will actually do anything. So
Yeah,
he's
I'm
going
gonna
to expend it. He's going to expend it all the same, trying to figure out. Okay, maybe we can try and figure out what's going to happen.
All right, we expend it for a special attack. Are there any dice that need to be rolled, Glacy?
Let's see. You can go ahead and roll a d20.
Me? Oh.
Just barely now.
It was just shy.
Doesn't work.
Oh, it doesn't work? Okay, so he just takes a full 8 damage. He just kind of just flinches a bit.
You see the
Before-
you see the shine, and then it's like, oh, well, nothing happened.
All these threes, my guy.
Do you want to roll live on that?
We even have
Not
a
right
live
now.
die for it.
Not right now. My last 3 attacks hit. That one just. We can just say that Levi got like basically caught off guard by the angle of it and shot back. But at the very least, we have witnesses now.
You see what I mean, Farador?
Neat.
Okay.
Looks at him incredulously, like that's his reaction to this.
Well, look at the bright side. They don't hurt that much.
Hey, when you've been around for 60 years, not much surprises you.
I mean, fair. But then there's those that would say that same exact sentence, but say it was 600 years.
Oh, like
not
Lucas.
Lucas, so...
Yeah, he's still just watching. He does stop at one, like thinking that it switched, like move to follow his movements, but he just stops and keeps moving after if it's just stayed still. He just turns to look back at this one in particular.
It's like, I'm watching you.
That's a pretty long distance. I'm not. I mean, you know what? I'm not gonna worry about the range. It's funny.
It's like it switches repeatedly.
But he just like feels himself get hit in the back of the head, and looks back at where it came from.
Oh god, can you imagine these things are all just mimic you? They're mimic you, but for substitute.
And thus he blames the one that's at the end of his range. This one.
It's like, okay, gonna try it one more time then.
I mean, yeah, try it. We'll try the
No.
Roll a d20.
Do I even want to know what this means? Oh god.
Nope. Does not work.
When I see a 1, I'm like, okay, what is that roll being for?
Let's see.
What? You roll a 1d20 and get a 1, and then you turn right back around and get the last 99 out of it, out of a 1d100? What the
The
fuck?
reflect explodes around Levi.
Excuse me? It's like, why do I hear something off? And then, like, just looks at Levi and goes, ah. Huh. That's... I've never seen that happen before.
Okay. Ow.
Are you alright?
I'll be fine.
Yes, you will be.
Gets up and shakes it off.
It's like, I'm not taking any chances with that one, but that I've never seen before.
Neither have I.
So, new entry in the book. Using reflect in response to special attack damage causes it to explode.
Maybe. It didn't cause it the first time.
Maybe it tears the threshold?
Maybe it's the methodology you use to try and make it reflect special attacks?
I don't know. Look, we'll try one more time, and that's all I've got.
Right, and then after that, off to the tavern, I can get you a smoothie. It's a smoothie of leather berries. Also, Straight, are you here? I think they're still
Do we
away.
have a straight?
That's fucking Mike Mute. Wondering why nobody was responding to me.
Ah! Well, howdy. Howdy, daddy. Anything you wanted to say?
Negative.
Understood. But yeah, Levi's going to continue just watching the.
Dude.
And you see him just. You see him just duck, and he's like, "Ha! I saw it this time."
Points a finger. Ha!
I did actually in real life point, so you got me there. Okay. I have a feeling if I do that, I'm gonna invoke the wrath. Oh well.
Levi, this guy says what?
And he just splashes it in the face with this one in particular in the face with sand. And keeps moving.
Wow, you're just being rude to them now.
They've been rude to me this entire time.
Maybe because you keep showing your back to them. And okay. Well, I don't think they'd like that very much. Boing. Just bounces off of him.
Yes, they didn't like that too much. In fact, I think I've been minorly inconvenienced.
Now you know how I feel.
Indeed. Now, let's see where this goes from.
There's the last one, and that's another miss.
He saw it coming and just like tilts his head to avoid it. Okay. This is a. Hey!
This is a merry-go-round. And then you get hit in the back. That 19 very much being hit in the back.
You want to try one
there's-
more
yeah,
time?
that's the last. This will be the last one. Bink. God, what? Every time.
Let's see what happens.
Again?
17.
Fuck. Nothing happens. Or wait, something did happen.
Huh?
Huh.
He looks to Olivia. I'm pretty sure I got hit.
Yes.
Did I get
It didn't
hit?
explode this time.
I didn't feel anything, but I. How do you describe? I don't feel the pain, but I also felt I got hit. I guess I just it just felt numb, like someone just tapped me in the back of the head or something. Like,
Hard to say. I mean, maybe it worked, maybe it didn't, but at the same time, it's hard to really say. For the consideration, let's just say we take that win and we go.
fair enough. Besides, I you a smoothie.
All yours, Farinor and company.
Oh, wonderful.
I may not be able to knock them. I may not have knocked out the substitutes, but they get to have more fun.
To be fair, I'd be more worried about the substitutes.
Same.
We will transition scenes.
Yep.
So next we can either do Hello or Padrock.
I can go.
Oh, surprise, I did say that Rain was in Malva.
Wait, Levi, you need to come back. The Keck Shop has black glasses. They can have the deal with it shades. Come back, you forgot your shades.
Maybe.
One moment, I'm gonna whisper to him.
Yeah, one moment.
You're right, Snivy. That is actually 100% correct. Luffy doesn't feel most attacks. But when he does, he goes, ow. Every time.
Yeah, it's just like, felt the attack and was like, I've been hit? I think? Maybe?
Yeah.
It's more like a bee sting to him.
Go ahead, Paul, sorry.
Paulo gets himself up from the table and begins making his way toward the manor. Because he had spent the better part of the morning working up what it was he was going to say to a certain someone when he inevitably went to talk to him today. A particular chapter has been turned with him, and he wanted to put the matter to rest once and for all.
Levi and Alibi might not be there at the moment.
No, not right.
Yeah, they're not.
Anyway. We're probably just getting here as he's going in there.
Knock, knock.
It's open as usual.
How's he holding up, Doc?
The two of them are better now than yesterday. Though there's still quite a bit of injury here on both of them.
Well, on the bright side, I may not be any doctor, but it does not look like amputations are being called for.
I'd certainly hope not.
No, not unless desired. Aye, but no. The two of them are just fine. Though I won't lie to you and say the family took more of a beatdown. Save for Elena, but that's a different story.
Well, you at a point where you can give these two a moment of time alone with me?
Raven would look over to Jericho and then look to what he was just working on before moving around one of the braced arms of his. I'll be fine, Jericho. Promise. You sure? Yeah, I'll be fine. Guys, this is just a casual chat between friends. Very well. With that, Jericho's going to make his way out of the manor. And I'm going... I ran out of space to move him, but I put him back in the medical house. Meanwhile, Reuven's going to move carefully onto the couch.
Scarefully?
Carefully. Onto the couch and just lay down and give give the injured leg some rest.
Are you holding up with yesterday being done and over with?
Physically, mentally, or emotionally?
Yes.
Physically, well, I'm seeing better days, to say nothing of my back, but nothing that can't heal. Mentally, I've had a lot of time to think. A lot of concerns that went through my head, but a lot of happy thoughts, a lot of understanding, which leads me to the last one, emotionally. I feel good. I feel good. And contrary to what you may say, I feel justified. But justified not in I did what I wanted, but justified in I did what was necessary. Which is also what I wanted, but either way. What about you? You went through hell for a little while.
That's one way to put it.
Are you okay?
I'll live. Suppose I've got a bit of residual adrenaline wearing off from facing something as large as a Groudon.
Close eyes like that.
Something as large as a Groudon.
Primal Groudon, to be specific.
Arceus!
Not quite.
Well, that'll explain why we felt the shakes from over here.
I mean, we went to the... I went to the... words. When you guys left, other rescuers were not too far off. They saw the remnants of what occurred. We were escorted to the Malva Hospital. Majority of the family was escorted to the Malva Hospital. Save for one or two who went to go deal with finishing everything else. Had it not been for rain, this conversation would have been taking place in a medical room.
I'm glad that you folks are at least comfortable.
Yeah.
You still don't... It's obvious you still don't agree with my initial decision to keep you alive, given your position.
I don't. Despite everything, I heard what you said. You don't want rescuers to be seen as killers. I get that. At the same time, I looked at this not from a personal angle. I realized that I was flawed doing that and decided to look at it from a different position. I looked at it from a, well, current angle. A perspective of what I learned from you. And, well, more than just you, what I learned from family. I couldn't... Despite what may be best for looks, I could not just abide with him continuing to exist. Personal desires push that, I'm not going to lie to you. But... I could justify it.
Perhaps you could. From my standpoint as a guildmaster, I still have to stand by what it is I decided to do that day. Do you ever hear the story Team Zephyr?
Here and there, nothing exactly positive, save for their efficiency. But
well, their efficiency, in a word, was lethal. They were one of the first rescue teams that chartered out of Malva, back when the guilds were still establishing themselves. They were completely made up of people who had been imprisoned in Naperlov. I had my reservations about them initially joining when I heard their reasons for why it was they wanted to become a rescuer. And it did not take more than a month for me to remove all doubt about whether or not I thought they had a future as a rescue team. Yet, they continue to succeed in mission after mission. But they had a habit of going off script when it came to any sort of apprehension mission involving the new masters or the remnants of the zealots, the ones that existed at the time. Like clockwork, if they ever set themselves on tracking one of them down, that person or the people that they were going after always turned up dead. Now, some might say that this kind of stuff was justified, and some of these people really were dangerous. And a lot of them were more or less cut from the same cloth as Hugor in the sense that they could have just let themselves out of prison any time. Now, while people may have cheered this on, and the world may not be a worse place for their absence, that all was brought to a halt one day. Do you ever hear about the Ramius mission or the Ramius incident?
The Ramius. That was them.
Ramius was the name of a guard captain from Aberlov. The day you guys raided, he was on sabbatical with his family, or what constituted his family. And he was spared the initial liberation. Probably would have been locked in a hole for the rest of his life, or killed, depending on who got to him first. But he escaped. He had been on the run ever since the fall of the Zealots. And Team Zephyr found out about his location. Well, one rescue team, at least in the eyes of a pursuer, is as good as the next. Team Zephyr had cornered him, and just as they were about to supposedly take him in for questioning, as had been the order of the mission, he unveils about half a dozen grenades with the pins all pull on them. Everyone involved was killed.
Oh. Wait. Wait.
What's that noise?
That is Portia. Apollo, correct me if I'm wrong.
Go ahead.
Knowing you, they wouldn't have been on that if you saw a pattern of what they've been doing. So who was supposed to go on that mission in the first place?
So, I'll get to that in just a moment. The way those hunt down missions went is the teams were always placed on a rotation.
Right.
Sometimes it would be you guys. Sometimes it was Zephyr. Other times, different teams would be stepping up to take whichever pursuit mission we had available at the time, or that we had the bandwidth with. And thanks to Team Zephyr, the rescuers were starting to be rumored to be extrajudicial hitmen.
Oh.
Naturally, when you're cornered by that many people, you know that your time is limited. So Ramius did the one thing that anyone else would do faced with a situation like that. He wasn't going to take his death lying down, and he was going to take as many people as he thought as he could with him. Now, I've told Donovan this. I didn't tell the rest of you. The day that Ramius's name came up as in the area, that was supposed to be you. You and the rest of New Dawn.
So why wasn't it us?
I wanted you to have the day off.
Oh. Huh.
For better or for worse, Zephyr had given the rescuers a reputation of being efficient in lethality, something I really did not want them to be.
Right.
And the aftermath of that was I had to do a deep drill down on every last fatality involved with a mission like that. A lot of teams were a few members short after that. Some I had to utterly disband. And I had high hopes for a lot of these people. The end result was that was the last time we've ever had anything that bad happen to the rescuers, at least until recently.
That is a horrible tragedy.
Agreed. So
And the reason why I tell you... Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead, please. I have a retort potentially, but go first, please.
I say all of this because if I had let you do what you wanted to do to Hugor the day we caught him, getting that piece of our reputation fixed to where the Ramius incident doesn't happen would have been next to impossible. Cassia has need of rescuers. We have law enforcement. We have a justice system that, while it is not perfect, it is better than every alternative out there. It is more fair than every alternative out there. Sometimes we get what happened with Hugor. The good news is we don't have to worry about every mission where we go out to capture somebody who's on the run from the law turning into a Ramius incident.
I hear you. But allow me to retort.
Go ahead.
Something that I hold in value, courtesy of you, is if someone needs to die, don't do it willy-nilly. My mom enforced that, you enforced that. If anything, you made sure it never happened to begin with. And even working with the rest of the team. That's not something we did. Even when we went up against so many others. If anything, we have cases we have cases on hand for why we didn't kill someone versus the fact that if someone passed away. In fact, Kua,
Yeah?
can you do me a favor? How are you feeling right now physically?
Still pretty sore, but I'll be just fine.
All right. We have our records are usual spot. I think downstairs with the others. You think you can go get them?
Sure thing.
Now
He said,
you mentioned though that I drilled that into you. There's a reason.
I can tell.
Team Nudon is nothing short of famous. Everyone knows who they are. If word got out that they were taking captive even people like Hugor, a guy who everyone knew deserved to die by rights, it sends a message to a lot of criminals that getting caught by a rescue team isn't the end. And for a lot of criminals, even today, when obviously you and Kua aren't doing as many capture missions, one rescue team is no different than the other. And some guy who's on the run for petty larceny isn't going to be able to tell the difference between Team Nudon, Team Eclipse, Team Jungle, or Team Blackthorn. If they think that getting caught means that their life is forfeit, they are capable of anything.
In regards to Hugor, I disagree. I hear you in the fact that people are willing to believe that if we're willing to capture someone like that, their life isn't going to end. There's a flip side to this. Something that I saw a lot more of. Especially in the few days that passed while Eclipse was busy. I want...
He's back in.
I don't want rescuers to be seen as killers. That was never the goal. Our records can prove that.
I wrote them myself, actually. I don't need to see them.
You wrote some of them. The others for the past 34 years, 33 years, it's all us. If not by my hand, Rain's the one that wrote them. But I'm getting sidetracked. There is a belief that yes, excessively doing one action is going to shift perspective for the other. Our goal was not to make rescuers look like killers. However, the day that we brought in Hugor, we weren't hailed as heroes. If anything, it was ridicule. It was questioning. It was confusion. It was concern. Concern writ on the face of so many people as to the fact that this person who has burned down half of the region, metaphorically and in some cases literally, who has ruined, eliminated, hurt, ripped apart families, ripped apart lives, etched his name in the ruin of generations, and they're still alive. There's a difference between we are so heavy-handed that we're seen as killers, and that we're so light-handed that we're seen as an inconvenience. Just we're not willing to do what is necessary to keep everything safe, as is our creed, as is our duty. And that comes at the cost of faith.
Well,
Cool.
if those people who you saw cursing us, frankly, the way you're talking about this is not too dissimilar from what I was actually encountering in the early days. A lot of people in the days after the Ramius incident, the guy who was in charge of Malva City, one of the old mayors, wrote back to me expressing his condolences, but stating that Cassio would have been better if we had more teams like Zephyr who were willing to do what had to be done. I took the airship over there next morning, walked into his office, shoot out his deputy mayor who he's in the middle of having a meeting with. I tore him a new asshole. This is not who the rescuers are supposed to be. They're a very specific tool for a very specific problem. And a lot of people, especially in the early days, had a lot of terrible ideas as to what our influence was and was not supposed to be.
Before we continue, AK, you're about to say something.
Yeah, I was actually gonna like the point I was gonna make was that it has been decades since I saw that kind of disgust and hatred in people's eyes. It's on the day that we dragged in Hugor alive.
Well, now you know what I had to put up with as Guildmaster. Funny thing about being in charge of Guild, you never, no matter where you sit in that structure, you're never in a place where someone isn't telling you what to do, or putting one kind of a demand on you or another. And one of the most difficult skills I had to get very good at was telling people, no, final answer. Were they mad about it? Sure. Did Jonas have a few choice words for me after the fact? Calling into question my competence? Sure. My results spoke for themselves. And, well, question for the GM. Was Jonas Rusco's dad?
Yes.
Okay. And he is no longer the mayor, correct?
He's dead. Yes.
Well,
Killed by
I'll
street
do it.
thugs. Killed by street thugs. Go figure.
Yeah, I'll do it.
got a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Me or GM?
GM.
Answer. Doing it in DMs.
Yeah.
the ladder.
Levi got a little fried, more like he got a shield exploded on him.
Jonas and I never really got along. After that, the one thing he was never about to argue with me with was the results that I was able to put forward, and the foundation that has made the rescuers what they are today. Is everyone going to be pissed about this? Sure. But that is the sort of disappointment that people have when they start asking us to do things that we are simply not made to do. Hugo was supposed to be dead. They needed to be sending in someone else.
We're not a hit squad. I know that.
And when we took Hugo down in the field, we had the ability to take him in alive.
This may be personal. It is personal. It is absolutely personal. I regret taking him alive that day. Not even for the tragedy that occurred in Malva, just in general. Despite what you were saying, everything in my body was screaming that we were making a bad decision that day and not taking care of the problem in front of us. And looking at his track record, we wouldn't do what we did for anyone minor. We wouldn't do it for some petty thief. We wouldn't do it for someone like Donovan if he didn't change his tune. Donovan, he would have been simple textbook. Go find him, capture, bring him in. Done. Nothing further. But even someone who's marked as a murderer, they've done it before. They'll probably do it again. Same ruling applied. We didn't go far with it. Sure, we fought them until they stopped resisting, but we still brought them in. But taking a full look at the rap sheet, if you really wanted to do it, even if I wasn't related to this guy, it felt irresponsible to just take him in alive. Even if it would have looked good on the rescuers, it felt wrong. White literally, like, everything this guy's done, and we still show mercy.
Problem is, he wasn't in any position to fight back, but we could take him in.
At the time, he wasn't. Yet once we took him in, he wasn't watched. He was left alone. There was a failure of duty to keep an eye on him at all times. People were scared of him.
I imagine people who are charged with keeping criminals detained are going to have a long look at that, if they want to get serious about this.
I would hope so. But in regards to the record, as I said, as long as you were alive, there's only been one person. Ignoring the accidents with Gigas, ignoring the accidents where someone tried to do something crazy, ignoring the accidents where someone was terrified of us probably due to Zephyr's actions, that they perished before we even got to them by their own hand. Ignoring all of that, focusing purely on what we did, our hand. Let the record show, any gestures to the papers, how many people whose lives we've taken.
I'm not calling your record into question, Kua, or Ruven. You guys earned your reputation for a reason. Unfortunately, you aren't the only rescue team out there. Every rescue team is looking up to you, and every person you guys went out to catch couldn't care less if it was you or another rescue team. Y'all look the same to them. It's not fair. It is the reality that you feel the brunt of every time you go out. And back when I was Guildmaster, I could accept that reality or reject it, but I could not escape the consequences of rejecting it.
Something I do remember, though. And this is the one thing that I felt... why I feel so justified about the decision. The first person that we made the decision that something permanent had to be done to stop them from being a threat was the very same person that sent Cassia into a disaster, into a world that I grew up in. And that's Zorellan. And you and I both know that it was our hand that made that call. I don't regret the decision. And yet, here we are now. The worst of how I feel about this is just doing right by you. Doing right by you, doing right by myself. And... well... when it came to Igor, there was a lot for me to lose. A lot for me to lose, both if he was alive and if he was dead. Though you're asking me to make a sacrifice that I was not willing to make at the time. Admittedly, I'm still not.
No.
But let me ask you a simple question.
Go ahead.
I'm doing my best to ignore the personal factors of my judgments. Because even in the field, we make our judgment calls based on the best case scenario that we can think of with the information that we have at the time that we make it. And looking at everything that happened, looking at the decision that we made, yes, I'm not going to deny it. We did make the call to kill Igor. Just like we made the call to kill Zorellan. My question is this. If you have a reputation, something that people look up to you for, something that people follow, people guide, people watch like hawks, like a braviary looking for its next target, would you have pride in that reputation?
I would have pride in that reputation.
And what if it comes at the cost of your own happiness?
It often did. There is obviously what I wanted for the guild. It's been my guiding principle since that time that you let 5 people who deserve to die live, then let 1 person who should have lived die. When I originally caught up with a lot of the people who are responsible, directly responsible, mind you, not your family, the ones directly responsible for kidnapping me as a child, It was resolute. Put a hand on my shoulder and counseled me against killing them. From that time, I knew that killing people like that would have been the easiest thing in the world for me. And the moment I started down that road, I don't think I'd ever been able to pull myself back.
Kua turns to Apollo, just staring. You know, you've said that kind of thing before, that kind of sentiment before. Having killed myself, I fundamentally cannot understand where you're coming from.
Well, it's the sort of thing that happens when you've seen the worst in people and you feel like there isn't a whole lot in them worth saving. When you have someone like Resolute, who is the exact opposite of me, was able to pull me back out of that precipice, well, that's how I ended up with Worldview. You and I grew up very differently, Kua, so I'm not going to expect you to see things like that.
We did. We definitely grew up differently. Though...
GM note, 8000 is not active on Roll20.
Yeah, my Firefox graph.
Oh, dear.
Don't worry about it. Just keep going.
Understood. I'll say what I need to say then. I will say this. In regards to this reputation, as my mom put it best, the road to hell is paved in good intentions. The way I see what happened with taking Hugor in alive, with what followed after, people are going to judge us for that. Even if they may be dissenters, even if they may be loyal to rescuers, even if they know who we are specifically, they are going to... This is not going to go down in history forgotten. Where effectively a decision was made. Yes, we made the decision as rescuers to incarcerate him for the second time. You made the decision. I agreed with you. We were the hands that brought him back to the prison. And that was seen. That was known. That was fact. And with the courthouse blown up, only after did we actually make an action to finish what should have been done, in my opinion. The issue that we're looking at right now, though, is that people that are less dangerous, if not equivalently dangerous as Hugor, they're not going to be scared of us. And that's fine. They don't have to be scared of us. It makes our job easier if they were not scared. Because if they're scared, they're impractical. Well, unpredictable. Whatever the fucking word is. However, I go back to this example. If we're too heavy-handed, we're seen as killers. If we're too light-handed, those who we need to incarcerate are emboldened. There is no we should never kill. I don't agree with that, even though it doesn't look good on a rescuer to kill someone. It never will. It never will. At the same time, to ignore a threat when you knowingly can resolve the problem before it becomes a greater threat is not... It's not what we do. It's not smart. It's not safe. It's not caring for the region. It's foolishness. that's going to catch up with us.
Well, the decision to let Pan live caught up with us a long time ago. And however big you think the fallout is from letting Hugor live, nothing's ever going to amount to the amount of shit that I caught from that.
Oh, we still catch shit from that. I know it.
You got from that?
Well, for as much shit as I caught from that, what people are never going to be able to deny again is that we rescuers always find a way to pull through. And with the way I train people, the way people are still getting trained from me, I'm not worried about the future. And sure, you're going to find some pighead like Jonas who's going to openly castigate the rescuers and will only tell us about stuff after he's either screwed it up or Apollo raises his paws out from under himself and does the quotey fingers with his claws, resolved it. At the end of the day, the best solution usually involves some sort of involvement on our part. May not make everyone feel happy. We have a habit of getting stuff right.
We did.
And I don't see that changing for the rescuers.
We do.
No matter what the historians want to bitch about us doing or not doing, should have done, shouldn't have done. As I always like to say, Apollo says being to stand up and does the high humpback stretch that cats do before sitting down. Everyone's a critic.
Well, let me put my opinion on this then.
Go ahead.
Something every rescuer needs to be able to do. Rules and statutes may exist, but at the end of the day, what matters most is that you believe what you're doing.
Exactly.
The mission itself may, like, let's say, for example, like, you see things one way, I see things another, and you know what? I'm fine with that. Go ahead, Kua.
I'm just... You keep talking about reputation. Reputation about the team. But you can say screw the critics all you want. But you did not see the people giving up hope and rescuers in real time as we carried Hugor's body to the jail. You didn't hear the very crowd talk about how we failed.
And even then...
Not that day I didn't.
No, you didn't.
I heard about it ever since the new masters were put into the ground. I had a lot of people cornering me in one place or another, giving me a piece of their mind. Well, Jonas periodically liked to make a show for his base about how he was glad he didn't have to work with me. And then there were all the times that he had to put his foot in his mouth about everything he would say about me. And Kua?
Yes.
Putting up with those people and not taking it personally is one of the struggles that a guildmaster has to do. And it's something I went to a lot of trouble to make sure you and the rest of New Dawn didn't have to deal with.
See, the thing about it, though, Apollo, as I said, rules and statutes may exist. People will have opinions all over the place, but at the end of the day, when there's no guild to lean back on, when there's no one else to really be there for you except perhaps you and your team, you and your beliefs, you and your understanding, you follow your heart. You follow what you believe in.
Don't I fucking know it.
And in this case, the question fell to us. We were the ones in the field. We were the ones to had to make the call. It was, let's look at you look at the problem in front of you. You look at it from every single angle you can consider. And the question comes to a very simple point. You see the problem. You have options. What
If you spend all day trying to find the perfect solution, you'll never make a decision in your life.
True. Which is why the decision needs to be made with something that you believe in. If you don't believe in it, you hesitate. If you don't believe in it, why are you doing it? Not every rescuer is going to be so willing to not every rescuer is going to be willing to not consider every option available to them, and unfortunately what we did was an option. And what we did with that option, as we've done for the last, he paused a moment and thinks back, for the last 30 something, 40 something years. We've been doing this for a freaking while. 33 years. Let's put it like that. For the last 33 years. You look at a problem, you stare at the problem, you understand what the problem is and what you should do, because at the moment you think about it, you can see exactly where this is going to go. What are the outcomes of each and every possibility? This isn't something that takes a long time to consider. This is something that if you can't think about it when you get the mission description, you can think about it on the road. You see someone on a drug in the mission. Your goal is simple. Keep your team safe, take down a threat. If you wanted to take the time of 12 hours to actually keep somebody alive long enough that the drug can wear off, that's an option. It's not a smart option. It's probably going to get someone hurt, but it's an option. But to leave Hugor alive, like I said, even if I pull myself out of my personal feelings from the fact that he took out members of our family, unfortunately. He took out members of my family. He imprisoned several hundred people. He ruined, if not killed, several hundred others after he got out the first time. Only to do it again after he got out the second time. It's not a button that should be it's not a choice that should be made easily. I agree with you there. That doesn't mean it's not a choice. Because eventually something's going to happen where you have to look at a problem and wonder, is there any good way this can go? And if the answer is no, sometimes you got to be ready to make that final choice. And I'm not looking for a better reputation. I'm not looking for better reputation. I'm looking for to get the approval of someone else's opinion, because if I go searching for nothing but approval of everybody else's opinion, I'm going to go mad. I would go absolutely bonkers trying to appease everybody I know, from the random person on the street to, well, every time's you. I don't agree, but I see exactly where you're coming from. You say
I think
that
you and I are a little past agreeing at this point. I accept fault for, well, Hugo coming in, well, escaping and setting the region on fire. That was always a possibility. Everything that happened afterwards, of him breaking out of jail a second time, I lay that one squarely on the correctional staff for not putting enough people on someone they already knew was that dangerous when he was brought back in.
Fear will do that to you. Fear will absolutely do that to you. Though at the same time, when it comes to the reputation of a rescuer, I have a different vision. And that's me following what I believe. We can be loved, we can be hated. But I don't want rescuers to be seen as nothing more than an errand boy. Nothing more than just a group of random people that can, oh hey, we can slow down the problem for so long. We didn't get the faith, the admiration, and the reputation that we've acquired because we were light-handed and that we were willing to forgive anyone and everyone for anything they've done and or rely squarely on a legal system. At the time that we dealt with this, at the time I was alive, there was no legal system. Unless you consider the new Master's legal system, and in that case, I have to second guess my opinion about you. There is one now, though. And with there being one now, I'll be honest with you, I'm still getting used to them, even after all this time. Maybe that's where the mistake is. But you ask me, we looked at a problem, we assessed the problem, we had a solution. And unfortunately for us, the solution is, well, he had to go. And even then at the prison, no one knew what the hell he was capable of in regards to it, in regards to the chaos magic, in regards to what he can do. All they had was what we said, what you guys experienced in the field.
And your mother had no knowledge of chaos magic.
Go ahead, Kua.
That's the perfect point. You claim that they should have had more people, but there's no possible way that have been prepared for you.
I'll ask the question again. Cleo was there advising them, and she knew about chaos magic or she didn't?
She knew about chaos magic. We know about chaos magic. We gave advice as best we could. Advice was given. It was not. I don't believe it was followed due to fear.
Then that is on them. Full stop.
I agree with you. At the same time, the other issue about chaos magic is in the name itself. Different people use it in different ways in such a way that it's not consistent. It's fluid. And learning how to harness that fluid energy can only lead to that much more unpredictability. So even if we knew exactly what he was capable of, whether that be exactly what he's capable of today or tomorrow is a concept at best. An expectation at worst. But no, we did warn them. We gave them a heads up. I'm pretty sure in the prison testimony is being done in order to figure out how this could have happened, what may have gone wrong, and that's going to come out. Even so.
Bureaucrats going the way they are, they're not going to be able to heap as much blame on me as I think the two of you give them credit for.
They can sure as hell try.
Well, they can try.
But no. You and I both know that my mother has a habit of crossing her T's and dotting her I's. And doing her best to make sure that she's prepared for whatever may come. That included this.
I don't say this as a matter of spite. I'm not worried about your mother being able to make it out of this. Make it out of this one. She has been through tougher situations.
True that. But... Sorry, I thought someone was about to say something.
Nope.
Okay. But what I do want to say is this, and this is what I firmly believe. We have our structure in place as rescuers. A avoidance for taking the lethal option, aiming to save lives and bring order to chaos, rather than end lives and, well, become tyrants. My perspective, though, in conjunction with that, be willing to do what's necessary. Every rescuer needs to be able to look at a problem and understand exactly what they're going to do and be able to, whatever they decide to do, be willing to handle the consequences that may come after. But frankly, this is the consequence that I've been looking at for a while now. Though, I'll admit, given how we're talking,
I feel like we've been over this ground at least, what is it? Apollo starts counting off in his claws. 3 times now? Is it?
something like that?
Yeah.
Something like that.
I haven't
Although,
seen you this wound up since Donovan brought home the laser pointer.
let's not get into that. That was one. Let's not get into that. But Raven still would hop off the couch and just walk over. Make no mistake, though. We have a different way of looking at this. Me, I want the rescuers to be fair but firm, and I don't want people looking at us as minor. I want people to make sure that they know that if the rescuer gets on a job, they know that it's going to get taken care of. Whether it be taken care of in their eyes or taken care of in a different way, taken care of in the best way possible.
No,
But it's also
the
important.
most-
I'm sorry, go ahead.
the most they can ever do is hope that it will be taken care of.
True. I can't tell the future. Neither can you. I mean, unless we really want to be no axe itchy over there. But we may not be able to see the future, but we can at least make the best decisions that we can with the information that we have. And I think we're both in agreement on that. Even if the best decision in this case was different. Nevertheless, actually, testing 1 2.
Can you hear me?
I guess I saw the message from Glacier. Just want to make sure. But no, nevertheless, I don't want to pull this card, but would your perspective on the situation be any different if if he happened to go after one of yours?
Never really knew my parents that much.
I wasn't saying your parents. I meant your
No.
family. Michael, David, Allura.
I honestly couldn't tell you.
It's a scary thought.
I've never been in a situation, and I think Arceus, I've never been in a situation like that.
And I pray to Arceus that you don't. Because, much as I'd like to deny it, personal reasons definitely played a hand here.
I don't doubt it. Now, that we are done talking about ideals and all that stuff, there's enough for some time at the tavern, Apollo says, reaching a paw out and playfully booping Reuven's nose.
Riven would reach up instinctively with the damaged hand, but he can't reach it, and he just gets tapped on the nose and just stares. And then from that point, he turns towards Kua and starts walking. But as he turns, Apollo just disappears in a bunch of tails. So, what's your opinion on this, Kua?
Yes. Not really sure if we've gotten anywhere.
We definitely didn't reach an agreement. I'll say that for sure. But
And he still holds on to the nonsensical kill once and is a slippery slope.
I don't think so. But he would let Apollo's head out of the tails for a moment. Even if the whole concept of killing once is a slippery slope is, well, believed. I do still hold on to the fact of we'd made the best decision that we could based on the information that we had. Honestly, let the public make their judgments based on the actions that they see. They can see us as taking too long to take care of Hugo and tragedy came around. They can see us as being willing to give chances, but after a certain extent, also be willing to make the final decision. Either way this goes, history will talk, and the world may listen. But Apollo, I'm gonna follow my heart on these things. As it stands, Team New Dawn has only 2 kills to their name, and it's not something I'm proud of. Despite what the public may say for the first, it's not something I'm proud of. But we can only hope there won't be a situation that will call for a third. And if the decision has to be made, let it be known it will not be made easily. That's the best assurance I can give you. Is Portia okay?
Yeah, she's fine.
Making sure.
Yep.
Also, Polly, your mic may be muted again.
If she starts sounding
I'm staying
like,
silent.
it's if she starts.
8,000?
Yeah.
You were saying something?
Yeah, it's if she starts sounding like a water bottle that's being squished is when there's a problem.
Ew.
Fair enough.
It means she's about to throw up.
Understood.
A water bottle being squished. That is a phrase I've...
That is hauntingly accurate.
But Raven would just say this, like, best assurance I can give you is I'm hoping there won't be a third. That there's a situation that happens that has to justify that. But if it is, let it be known that it's not a decision made lightly. And even if we don't see eye to eye with this, you're still my nephew.
And the 2 of you are still my inaugural rescue team.
And we'll happily most likely, reach your expectation over and over and over again.
Sometimes exceed, sometimes fall short. I trust you guys.
And we trust you. Even if we may have different opinions on morals.
Now, if I'm in a room full of people and everybody's agreeing with me, somebody's not doing their job.
That's a good way to
No.
look at it.
In relation to the fact of Pokemon not having opposable thumbs, remember the Lucario and Ampharos video gaming situation? Ampharos was able to play the very same video games that Lucario could with flippers. But someone insisted we don't call them flippers. They're supposed to be called nubbins.
Nubbins!
Look, Pikachu and Eevee can hold the cup. Lucario can hold the controller.
I imagine like those three are going by as like, you know, Levi and Luvi are at the Lepa berries.
Yeah, they're
like,
at Sunroses.
Yeah. Just like, huh? Were they having a meeting?
I go right about here. And just move down here as such. Just looks over the
Pokes his head out from the tails and just sets it on the table, looking over at Glacy, giving like the half moon pattern of white in his eyes.
It's like, did I see that correctly, Levi?
Oh, I need to fix that.
Levi just looks on, like, you saw Ninetales carrying an Absol along with Enlaver and walk by?
Did they have a meeting or something?
I think so. But, it looks like it ended on good terms.
Good terms. Yeah. I debate that.
Well,
Usually when Reuven's got someone cloistered up in their tails, it's usually to abduct them somewhere.
where do you think they went?
Your guess as good as mine.
Well, let's go find out. He would, for lack of better words, grab the Lepa berries and just make his way up to the, that way. And seeing those two, he's gonna just...
He just peeks in and sees Anak and Jericho and just waves.
Oh, wait, how many did you buy?
Oh, he would have just bought, like, the one or two. I'm gonna say one for now.
That's 800 Poke you would have been choking for each one.
Yes, 800 Poke, and then I'm going to hand this off to Emmy to make a drink for you.
Yeah, and as you're saying that, he just looks at the TM's shop and goes, "Oh no."
But yeah, Levi's gonna sit there for a bit, and you can stop with the sad music for the time being, unless you want to say something for Glacier or Linsula.
For now, no.
Mm-hmm.
Levi,
That's it.
don't look now.
Okay, what?
Points to TM. Earthquake.
I'm not as scared as that. You already have it.
Yes, but you didn't look to the one beside it, did you?
Which one is? Oh, I was looking at close combat.
That too. Honestly, Emmy's got a pretty decent selection this time around.
That she does.
Rest. If only I had the time to actually do any of that.
Talk to Padrock. I'm sure they can help you out.
No, thank you. I know where that's going.
As you turn around, you can see Padrock just wink at you before going back to his discussion with
Not
Allura.
get any ideas, Padrock.
Like, Padrock doesn't even respond to you saying that, as he's as if he had never winked.
That's it. I do need the BRB. You guys have fun.
Being said, I'm sure that considering the time and that has gone by. I assume Padrock would have had something to say to Allura or something. That's in between there,
Probably.
because we haven't gotten to them yet. So go for it. I think.
Out of character, I'm not what to say.
Did I put you on the spot? I'm sorry.
Frankly, it might have
Yeah.
just been a conversation, like, in the background. About stuff.
Mm-hmm. I guess he probably at this point be saying something like, I get this as an introduction book with ideas and stuff, but it all just seems a bit too concrete with its things. Like, there's no way that the same thing can mean the same idea can mean the same thing in everybody's dreams. Surely there's a fair number of outliers. Like this part here. Blue always meaning sad? What if seeing blue makes someone happy?
And that's where the question comes. I believe some called it an edge case. But yes, you do have to take those into account.
I see. I know it's probably a bit difficult to do this with all the work I've been doing, but I wanted to ask you, at what point of study does doing shadowing or watching a case being done in action happen?
I believe that comes with the field.
That the kind of thing that's the term I'm probably fumbling around for.
But in
What do
order to do something like that, that requires a subject.
Do I dare ask what you two are on about?
Dreams.
Bedrock lifts his head. My study for dream therapy?
Oh. Fair enough. Ignore me.
But regardless, if a time comes when you actually get the opportunity to test it out for real, that unfortunately is something you can't prepare for. No amount of in-house training or anything. That's just something that you have to jump into and apply everything that you've learned, but be ready for the worst.
Out of character, that sounds like really odd for a medical doing a medical thing.
Yeah, but dream weaving isn't exactly medical.
But still, like, it doesn't make sense. Like, that would be thrust in the case without seeing it in practice or shadowing someone doing it.
True. That's also when... What she's trying to say is you never know how someone's going to react.
Yeah, but that. That's still a bit of a different question to getting to see the work in practice, see how it's done with people.
I also think I missed when you were saying that.
That's what he was saying with the question about shadowing or like
Right.
that was that question.
Rewind a little bit. Get my head on straight. You're a cushion now, straight. Happened. So repeat the last thing you said to her.
After like doing the talking about the thing in the book, he turns to her. I know it's kind of like difficult to schedule with all the rescue work that I have been doing, but I was wondering how deep into my study does stuff like shadowing or being an assistant during a case happen?
Well, I can't exactly answer that. Because I never know when something will happen. The easiest answer I can give you is if I'm called into something and it isn't urgent or out of the blue, and you're not going to be busy, then I can call on you to come with me.
Mm-hmm. Because I can study all I want, but without direct experience. There's going to be a crucial part missing.
Indeed. I do say, however, that if I am to have you with me, I need to make sure that whoever I'm working with is okay with having a second person around.
Of course.
But I will do my best.
Thank you.
First, dear.
I'm back.
Back.
Welcome back.
Really wish Apollo wasn't definitely
I wonder why he is.
dealing with his
Oh.
dog.
Ah, okay.
What the dog doing?
Good question.
Hey, Alavi.
Hmm? What's up?
Sorry, you're not in the middle of something, are you?
No. Why?
It's just something that I came across when looking through Emil's, the book that you found in the village. That was from Emil.
Mm-hmm.
Something interesting that I found there.
You found something at long last?
Well, I found many things, but something you might be interested
Okay. Let me put this cup back once. Oop, I lost the cup. There we go. Get on the table. Ah, and then I hit my back button by accident.
And this is why I dragged the Roll20 to a new tab speed. There can't backspace my.
That would be an option if I didn't have to use the launch screen prior to it.
That's why you middle click it. So it opens a new tab. Anyways. Let's see. I think the others would be interested in this.
Well, most assuredly, but could ask.
One second, messaging right. I'll just assume he's gonna see it when he comes back.
Didn't Levi also say he was BRB?
I am here, but I do need
Oh.
to put something on, and then I'll be right back upstairs. I'll need like 60 seconds at most.
Ah, okay.
Let's take a quick break.
Okay.
Straight away and rise up. Take a moment. How is stream chat? How are the players?
Honestly, I am trying to avoid sweating like crazy because of this humidity. I have the fan on and everything, and it's still boiling in here.
That's a mood.
Dehumidifier is required, but I do not have one. As for stream chat, I'm surprised Side Effect didn't respond to that what I said earlier. I said, bee stings are equivalent to the size of a bee drill in the Pokemon universe. Take it that as what you will.
They might not have seen the game chat.
Maybe.
You doing okay, Tyson?
Yeah, I'm doing okay over here. Just
Okay.
computer's being a butt.
Computer.
Tech
Yeah,
issues, gotta love them.
Definitely.
It's like, I'm a computer. Stop all the downloading.
Not
I
even
will-
download.
I will take a quick moment to go to rest. Always. Happened. I'll be back.
Go for it. We have a little bit of an intermission, which means I can go say hello to the chat. Ah. Let's see. Oh, hey. Hey, Deep. Hey, Nightfire. Hope you're doing well.
It was definitely a frustrating conversation, no matter.
It was. But
Were you getting some pointers as well?
somewhat now. Getting somewhat now.
I'll whisper to you.
Got it.
Ziki Brain.
Okay, Twitch, please stop with the constant ads. I want to look at the stream, please.
I heard you like advertisements. So we're giving you 2-minute long ones now. It's like, yeah, gee, thanks, Twitch. We totally needed 2-minute long adverts. Don't you wheeze at me.
Ah, crap, I sent that to the wrong person.
have returned.
Welcome back.
Do we have a straight?
I'm here.
Okay. Everyone else?
Welcome back.
Do we have a press? Alright, so Ariel came over to Alibi and was going to show something. Something that she uncovered from Emil's book that you found in the village. She's gonna gesture to Alibi and
It's like, boop, boop, boop. Hey, Levi.
Hmm?
Get Apollo. We got something from Emil's journal.
By the way, here's your drink.
Oh, I've already drank.
Oh, good. Okay, I didn't know you already did already.
You
Levi's gonna
look
look.
at something and it's empty.
Levi always
Already
zoning
drank.
out.
Oh. He was focused on his own drink. Anyway, Levi's and looks at Ruben and it's like, hey, could you let him out? Ruben just looks over to Levi, looks back to Apollo, look back to Levi. Fine. Just lets Apollo go.
Apollo jumps out of the tails, lands over here before shaking himself out.
Say, Patrick,
Hey, Levi.
Are you coming too,
And-
Patrick?
Ruben looks at Apollo. It's like, oi, before you go.
Yeah.
He puts a paw directly on Apollo's head. Try not to be so close-minded on things in the future. It may surprise you a bit.
Now,
Even if
I
you feel
can, I can consider your viewpoints. I don't agree with them, but I
That
can't
makes-
consider them.
That makes two of us. Keep your mind open. You may learn something.
It's always been open.
When Alubi says that to Badrock, he looks up. Oh. Alright. Sorry, Laura. Gonna have to cut this short, I guess.
It's okay, I think we've talked about everything we can right now.
Teacup floating at his side as he walks over.
Floating tea. A floating cup.
Ariel just looked over at them as they come over and there's a little smile.
Did we go somewhere quieter, or?
I think we...
I mean, there's a table right there, after all.
This isn't really something that big, but I figured you might be interested in seeing it. Because it does mention you, kind of.
You tell.
She just flips on her watch and sort of casts a small projection onto the table. Flat surface.
I will never get used to that.
And if you want to read it.
I volunteer.
Oh, go for it. I was about to.
Page 38. What is the difference between God Blood and Blessing? In both cases, the recipient receives power from a legendary Pokemon, or God Beast. They develop over time, and the recipient gets stronger with them. In many cases, they start to look more like the legendary. I think that holds more true with God Blood than it does Blessings. We have to ask again, what really is the difference? Well, in one case, it's given. In another instance, it's rather stolen. The details still elude me. More research may help, but I think of comparable incidents. The Mincino and the Absol. Breakson and the Delphox. They are more similar than I thought. Note for later investigation. Is there a Lugia here? No comparable instances to the Raichu. The Pichu and the Rock Breakson. The Fructosaur and the Vaporeon. The Blaze Ruda and the... Fuck you, Prematorius. I can't do it. It's too strong. Where's that Espeon now? I need a break. This damn diamond's taking its toll on me. Delphox didn't grow wings, did they?
Well, someone's certainly lost in thought. I didn't understand half of that, but I think he looks to himself quietly, just like checking over his body. No, still me. I don't think I look anything like them.
Padrock. Sorry, go ahead.
So, it mentions... I see what you're getting at. You say the Pichu and the Rock Breakson, and I'm like, I don't remember Levi being a Pichu at any point in the case of when I met him, so this has to be someone else, right?
Has to be.
As the team finishes the note, there would be the brief moment where the Delphox didn't grow wings. You'd hear Padrock as he looks at his own back. That would have been cool.
Yeah, why don't we just, like, cover you in pink paint, too?
I'm gonna be honest, Padrock...
Wait, where'd you get pink paint from?
I'm gonna be honest with you, Padrock. I don't think you would have grown wings on your back, but more so, I want to say it would have been the robes.
Well, you're already getting wings, so why not just throw in a little more pink with your fur color, so that way you look more like a fairy type.
But they're not a fairy type.
Xerneas isn't pink. If anything, it'd be blue. Pink would make sense.
A blue Delphox.
You're
Has
right.
anything ever been done
that would
before?
look weird.
That would look kind of interesting. That would look... I wouldn't... Yeah, it would look probably kind of weird.
Yeah, maybe give him a scarf like mine or something, but nah. Thought for another day.
Indeed.
I mean, I might be a little bit close to the hue of blue, but I'm very obviously more gray. Shut up, Lacey. Not a lifetime. We ain't getting an Eaton.
I know what you motherfuckers are doing.
We're not doing an Eaton blue. We're not doing an Eaton blue.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
That being said, if the Pichu is different, then the Rock Breakson also has to be different. I'm not the first one to have type changed, so it could have been someone else, right?
The way he's mentioning them, I think he's talking about comparisons between you guys and Pokemon from that time.
Explain.
The time when Godblow was a thing.
Godblood. Okay, you're gonna have to refresh me on this. I don't quite remember.
I don't think that's from a time that we were around. Look, the point is there was a similar concept to what we have compared to the legends that we're affiliated with. And they were drawing instances back and forth.
Are you saying that there was another Rock Breakson similar to me?
No, there was a Pichu similar to you, though. If this is anything to go by.
Huh?
Some point in history, there was a Pichu that was affiliated with Jirachi.
Wait. Oh, I think I see what you're getting at.
Just like some point in history, there was a Mendocino affiliated with Ivelto.
So when he says the Braixen and the Delphox, he's referring to Padrock, but also not Padrock.
They're referring to Padrock as the Delphox, but there's the Braixen they refer to isn't someone we should have met. Someone from then, not now.
And they wait. So by that account, that would mean the Braixen was affiliated with Cernius,
Yes, correct.
and the Pichu was affiliated with Chiro. Oh,
Yes.
I see. Okay, now that makes more sense.
Acting on now.
Although there's, yes, I guess in that time period there was nothing similar to me. Unfortunate.
I think you are very much breaking new ground on that.
I've been breaking new ground since I joined the team, so that's nothing new.
He's swiping it too.
I will zap you over there. You're not out of my range. He says, pointing to Glacier at the end of the table.
Casually
Actually,
sips
just
coffee.
curiosity.
Yeah, casually sipping coffee over there.
Not coffee. Never coffee.
No.
Tea.
Ah, yes. The more
think so.
acceptable alternative.
That being said, I'll be right back.
Well, shit. And we'll pause again.
Whee!
How you doing, Straight? Doggy okay?
Yeah, he's just being a needy little bitch.
Meow.
But he's
Meow.
a male.
Meow.
Dog. Not cat.
Yeah. I love Cooper to death. Holy crap, that guy gets frighteningly anxious. To the point that he will actually destroy furniture. And he really does that when he starts stress barking, which is what he was doing just now. So I've got him up prowling my floor of the house. Excuse me.
Hopefully it'll be okay.
He's better now. Speak of the doggo.
It just occurred to me that if Padrock did grow the wings, turn pink, and have hearts all over them, they'd be no better than Nalmara.
No. Just no.
You don't want to be like Elmara?
Hearts is not my aesthetic.
No, they're really not. I mean, it wasn't for the goth kid either. But you don't see him. Oh wait, no, he complained about it a lot.
That was literally a part of his character arc. Bitching about the thing, like he wanted himself dyed black, and then
Yeah.
every time he got done, just a quick sprinkle of pixie dust, and he was back to being the pink anime girl.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that very scene where he's just like, yes, I have the color that I want. Ted literally just, why is it back to being pink?
You just gotta be tough enough to wear pink.
Yeah, eventually they're gonna have to learn that goth doesn't necessarily mean that it always has to be black. It could be pink, and you'd still be, quote-unquote, manly enough. Because real men wear pink. I read that off a t-shirt once.
I'm just copy this.
Nightfire.
Sorry for the wait.
Hi there.
You missed the conversation of being tough enough to wear pink.
Anyways. Be back in Ready Press?
Yes.
Ariel looks a little in thought and kind of just shuts her watch off and just shakes her head. I don't like that he mentioned the Espion.
Lars?
Well, in our time, there are records of an Espion who really screwed with Vermonitories. Supposedly, after being broken from its hold, he took its power for himself. It was strengthening their bond across time to... Well, it was strengthening the more powerful he became, to the point where it was actually distorting space-time, so much that he had to be killed to preserve Cassie's stability.
So it wasn't Lars.
These were reports from my time.
Got it. And they grew so powerful that they destabilized everything around them and had to be slain?
That's what the records say.
That seems drastic.
Once more, I'm reminded of how depressing your future is. No offense.
Well, the way I hear it, things weren't so much better here.
I wasn't around for that, I'll have you know.
But if it were so simple, even to do that. Ever faced an Espion who could control destiny? They're already dangerous enough on their own.
Can't say I have, can't say I want to.
A psychic type being able to control destiny. Where have I heard that before?
Well, yes, but also no. I don't think Padrock creates distortions.
Oh, I wasn't referring to Padrock. Though they do have a similar take.
Still, you did mention Lars, though, and he was there at the village, right?
Yes, he was.
Yep.
And then distortions appeared there.
Exactly, except they seemed just as hostile to him as he was to us.
Just because someone creates them doesn't mean they can control them.
Distortions are chaos beings incarnate. They have no master.
Indeed.
Except when the case of Hugor, when you think about it. Except, he's not around anymore to actually prove that that's a case that can be done.
Well, I don't think even he was controlling them. Just sending them on a
He found
rampage.
some... I mean, he did find a way to alter them.
Alter them, summon them, however he was never there when they were around. And even when we did fight him for the first time, he more so made an effort to destroy them.
Fair point.
If any of this is what I think it is, your parents should have known about this, Celebi.
If they did, then I didn't know.
But if they were already gone before Lars got there, they couldn't tell him.
Supposedly it happened 2 weeks before that. At least that was the time scale I was given. If there was only one way to go back and actually see what happened, maybe then I could get some answers. But going back in time is not the option. Not after what happened last time.
Looking back, maybe, but...
Looking back would be a different thing entirely.
He makes a brief glance at Padrock. But you never really developed that well, have you?
I guess not really, no.
Closest one I know that would be able to pull that off would have been Glacialis, but she wasn't there, and it's also been many long weeks after we've been there that I feel like that trail would have dried up at some point.
I feel
Even
like
if we did go back.
I feel like some things could have been prevented if what happened in the village didn't happen. I think there's more at play than mere coincidence. He may have gone for answers, but showed up too late and he couldn't get any. If it was the Zealots that took everyone, they may have done it on purpose.
Considering they weren't expecting anything of the sort and were working with them, supposedly, at the time? It does seem a little too coincidental. At the same time, it doesn't make me feel any better about it. And in the time we've been looking for answers, instead of going to the scene of the crime and investigating further where we couldn't have before, that trail's all but dried up at this point, isn't it?
I don't like the idea, but there may be some necessity of going after Lars.
That's the thing, I haven't seen hide or hair of him since last we met. And that was about the same time we were at the village.
No one seems to have. And I even went to Humble Down to talk to his brother about it. He hasn't seen or heard anything either.
Considering their last meeting, I would not be surprised that they don't trust each other.
Someone who's so desperate to get back home to their time that they're willing to risk everything for it. I'll keep doing what I can to read through what Emil has and see if there's anything else I can figure out about Lars or anything.
A question. Would it be possible to set up a bait, for lack of better words?
You want to bait somebody like that?
Not necessarily. I'm more so trying to figure out how to get his attention.
I mean, the only thing I can imagine him
being drawn to is any lead to get back to the old city.
And doing that and only being realized that it was all a lie would only make him very hostile. It would not suit our benefit.
So what happened last time?
Last time after he was betrayed, he actually didn't attack us.
He just happened to be there.
But if he is the way the records talk about him, and he does have Premonitorious power, maybe a lot more dangerous than...
Which is why I suggest we don't try to goad him into believing that there's an idea that could possibly get him back, as if he's that desperate to find an answer to his plight, only to be told that it was all a lie, and the people that perpetrated said lie is right in front of them, what do you think he's going to do?
I get it. Bad idea.
At the same time, if this connection continues to grow, it will cause more distortions.
So just like in your timeline, your future,
Well, my records are only of an espion. Supposedly from this time, Lars can only be Lars can only be what they're talking about.
well, there's no guarantee though.
There's no guarantee. There are too many coincidences.
And what do you suggest?
Don't dismiss the opportunity to talk to him. Never given the chance.
No, of course not.
Yes.
And I,
Thank you.
he just
So,
puts a napkin on the table in front of Apollo.
what, was somebody talking behind your back?
Either
Well,
way,
oh, good. Sorry.
go ahead.
He was making a small joke, it's like, well, given that we've been making a name for ourselves, probably.
I know that
Well,
if anyone's gonna have problems with Lars' connection, definitely gonna be her.
yeah.
So, if bringing him to us is a bad idea, how many of our friends can detect distortions like a bloodhound?
Well, we know Danica is sensitive to them to the point of literally getting headaches.
And being awake for days on end?
At this point, she's being kept awake, right? And they're all over the place. It's not easy to, well, pull a pin out of a back.
Oof.
Any increase in distortion just adds to the fire. Not really easy to trace any individual ones.
Can't exactly trace down a source then.
Given enough focus, we may be able to figure out smaller instances, but I can say now it's not going to be us.
I don't imagine so.
Then we do it the old-fashioned way. Let the other rescue teams know to keep an eye out for a Espion matching Lars's description.
Shouldn't be too hard to describe, considering they have a very unique set of equipment, which is that, oh, what'd you call it? That little weapon they use.
A weapon drive.
Yeah, that thing sticks out like a sore thumb.
And the Z crystal. Whatever the hell that is.
It's a traditional item from Alola, which, given where they say they're from, is some surprising that they have.
I'll take your word for it.
We reread it, those were only given out to people with exceptional strength and ability.
Well, how come I don't have one?
Don't exist here.
I'm joking, but maybe that's not the time to be making such jokes.
Just maybe. Hey.
I'm going to keep.
And I was like, at any rate, we have to figure out some sort of option to track this guy down.
I'm going to keep investigating what I can, doing research. See if I can come up with any more.
I should also mention in the case of Lars that when we were at my village, the distortions didn't show themselves until after Lars left the cave. He was all alone at the time, and that's when the distortions showed themselves. And then when we came out there to investigate what he was shouting about, that's when we saw it all. He seemed quite annoyed, as if it's a common occurrence for him.
Perhaps. Another thing I would say is, given the kind of information that might be there, it may be prudent for us to double down on finding what happened here.
I've been honestly waiting just for anything to come up. Just this enough is at least giving me some hope.
I've been working tirelessly on that.
No doubt, but I don't doubt that.
Just keep your eyes and ears open. Or anything. I'll do my best. I apologize that I couldn't do it.
No, don't apologize for something that at least gives us some kind of lead to look for. I don't know why you would apologize for such a thing. This is more than I could have done.
I'll keep trying. You guys take care, okay?
At least there's something.
There is indeed something. So knowing that this isn't a wasted effort, maybe you can sleep a little easier now.
Not quite, actually. If anything, this gets me more riled up.
I see.
I don't usually get very anxious, but this day and this very moment, I very much am.
Well, not much to get anxious about. We don't know where to look.
Well, that's exactly why I'm anxious about it. We don't know where to look.
And yet we're trying to figure it out. I'm
And the
getting
longer
anxious.
it takes, and that's exactly it. The
Hey.
longer it takes, the more trails get dried up.
And Levi's just gonna put a hand on their shoulder and just look Olivia in the eye. And the longer you get stressed out, the more likely something unfortunate may happen with you.
I...
Breathe.
Fine, fair, you're right.
Tell you what. There seems to be a play happening at the Ritzville Theater. Would y'all mind taking some time to go?
Play?
Play.
Sure, I'd be up to see it.
Besides, I can't remember the last time we got together to do something not business related.
Play on what, though?
Not. Wait. Right. You wouldn't. Leave. I just paused a moment to think about it. Do you know what a skit is?
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, I think he does.
Okay. Good. Okay. Okay.
It's like recognition. Yes, I know what that is.
Good. Okay. Somewhere. A play in this case is think a longer skit. It's a story being told with actors and performers.
Suspense?
Maybe.
That sounds like... Oh, wait, what is that? That does sound like something I think I recognize. I swear they did it at some... No, it had to have been when I was younger.
If you're talking about your family, then I dare say it is not uncommon for those of aristocracy to frequent venues like this.
Whatever the case, I only barely remembered it. Ooh, that thunder's getting rough out there.
What about you, Apollo?
Ruben, could you say that again? You cut out right as that question was getting asked.
Not a problem. Would you be willing to head to the Ritzville Theater to watch a play?
Oh, absolutely.
Sweet.
It's been a long time since I've watched things there.
Yeah, and like I said a moment ago, I don't know the last time we did something together that's not business, rescuing related. So screw it. Let's go out. Let's go do something fun. Levi's gonna use his tail to help himself quickly get out of the chair and get back to his feet. Before
Actually,
stretching out of
Levi,
it.
you want to know what that reminds me of in some way?
Huh?
I hear the word business, and I remember this one ponyta that was talking about a silly skit that was something along the lines of dressing up as a businessman and going, business, 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 problems, business.
Okay. When you see who this mon is, please let me know so I can thank them, because that that's pretty funny. I'm sorry. It's so silly, but it's so funny. I hate it.
Lego movie reference.
I knew it.
Though he does look up to Lucas and Felis, there is one thing I have to get to the bottom of before we go. He does stop his movement for a moment only to glance back at Allura. Excuse me, miss.
Yes?
Are you okay?
I'll be fine.
Alright,
Uh,
just...
Dive into your friend was a little more taxing than I had hoped.
Understood.
I've been meaning to ask about that. What even happened?
I was cut out violently, to say the least.
I see. It didn't hurt you physically, did it?
Sometimes dreams can have a physical impact on you. That way.
You're... Oh, okay. I honestly did not know that was a thing that could happen.
I wouldn't worry too much about it. But trust me, I'll be okay.
And you mentioned Danak was tending to you, correct? Okay.
Well, I hope you recover soon. Said.
Yeah.
You too. So, can you explain to me why what you did started attacking us?
What do you mean what I
Literally,
did?
literally bangs the table. It's like, yeah, that's it. That's right. Why were those things alive?
Substitute dolls.
Oh, I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know?
No. We both said the same thing the same time.
Knickers.
Felix, you're a dirty liar. You're terrible.
You would just just pause at the moment, just breathe, respond. Look, if you were gonna do that, you could have at least said something.
Consider yourselves enrolled in Legion training.
Oh no. Why do I get the feeling that that was intentional?
I'm not sure if that's a sign of concern or a sign of respect that you would do that.
Knowing him, it's both.
Either way, aside from the initial shock that suddenly a bunch of dolls were trying to hurt us, they didn't, by the way.
No, they caused our shield to explode.
Yeah, that did happen, though.
Sounds like you need more training.
I hate it that he's
Yes.
right.
Yes, we do need more training. Otherwise, we wouldn't be in the training yard training. I digress.
Was that fun?
You know, after the initial terror, yeah.
Yeah, speaking of fun, I think Farinor and his team have taken a little bit of an enthusiastic approach to it. A little too enthusiastic, if you ask me.
Well, given how old they are and what they've seen, not too surprised.
No, Glacy, stop right there. I know exactly what you're going to say, and I don't want to hear it.
What?
I'm just as confused as you are. What's happening?
She's going to mention something about, oh, they've seen things, and it's not so bothersome to them. I've heard it a million times already.
I figure they like the excitement.
To be fair, it is a... He looks to Lucas. To be fair, it is a legion is better compared to just a static pole. Though they're not exactly much for training how to do combat maneuvers.
Oh, I wouldn't worry about that too much.
Why do you say that?
Because they won't exactly remain the same the next time.
Great.
He just leans into Lucas. Are you saying these fuckers adapt?
What better way to train than the something that gets stronger with you?
Avoid the training yard. Got it.
No, Padrock, you're gonna have to be dealing with them at some point like we did.
Avoid the training yard. Got it.
What's to say that the training yard doesn't come to you?
Felix just gets a little glint in his eyes.
Yeah, I said it because I knew he was gonna get an idea from it anyway.
One does not simply neglect training, I suppose.
I wouldn't worry too much, however. They adapt to you, but they also sure that they're not going to be too strong. Whoever approaches them, they're going to be on equal levels.
Oh.
I should probably ask, those substitutes, are they actually Pokemon? Like, are they Dittos or something?
No.
They're not. Are they Mimikyus?
No.
Then what are they?
They are... How do I put it? They're manifestations of illusion I've been training for, well, let's just say the last couple thousand years.
Illusions? They felt very real.
Indeed.
I'm sorry, I have
Right,
to.
I forget I'm talking to Azorua. Great.
I'm sorry, I have to whisper something to Apollo real fast.
Ever heard of something called mock damage?
I've heard of Mock, but, do go on.
What they do to you doesn't last, but it will feel very real for a very long.
Okay, so what you're saying is that they're not dangerously deadly or lethal.
You'll just think they are. Illusions that can manipulate our senses. That's the easiest way to put it to words.
So what you're saying is that it can actually make me feel pain.
And you're the tank.
Out of character, that is a
Beautifully
very interesting thought.
That's an incredibly terrifying thought. Also, objective completed. I gotta laugh. That's all else after.
Oh boy.
What did you even tell him?
When you were asking what the substitute dolls are, like, are they Dittos? No. Are they Mimikyu? No. Then what are they? Do you
They are
care to-
denizens of the abyss. From ink of blackest night, I summoned them.
Oh my Jesus.
I'm sorry, I had to go for it. Look, they're dark types. It was right there.
Yeah, true. It is 100% fact. That is exactly what this Zoroark would have probably said if he had the option to do so.
Probably. but I digress. Leo just like leaned back against the wall briefly and thought before looking to Lucas. So they're capable of doing quite a bit more than I realized. They also have a penchant for. They also have a penchant for the moment you're not looking at them, hitting you in the back of the head.
They're like you in a way, Felis. Being a little prankster. Are you sure you didn't put a certain personality in them that is akin to you?
I claim nothing.
I call BS.
Consider it a mere joke. However, next time you go to face them, they might be a little more.
Oh, no, it's fun. Hold on a minute.
My own concern.
I apologize. My dad's heading out to work. Anyway, Levi's gonna pause and think about that for a bit before looking to Lucas. So, say you wanted to practice something with one of you guys, since you guys are probably a better analog than a bunch of dummies. Is that an option still?
I mean, you can easily spar with either of us.
Felis wouldn't actually spar, he would send one of his clones to do it. Let's be honest here.
Yeah, probably. In this case, what if it's learning concepts? For example, I remember that it was mentioned that you, Lucas, were pretty decent when it came to maneuvers.
Indeed. I am a scholar as well as a teacher.
Yeah, I can flail about with the dummies for a while, but unless I get an actual teaching on it, this is gonna take a while.
To be fair, I did try.
Just take care of the otters. Lucas
Otters?
breaking the fourth wall.
Stop breaking the fourth wall, Grandpa.
Hello, Sass.
Hi, babe.
Hi, sis.
Hi, Sass. Hi, Helix. Hi, Dan.
Hello, Arena.
Hello, Brigade. Welcome to the program.
We're in the middle of a session. Welcome. Hope you enjoy.
The brigade.
Yep. Hey, 9.
9 types of crazy.
And welcome back, Lone.
Well, we have 9 types of crazy. What would you call 8? 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Well, 8's crazy 8, so. Howdy, Ice Lord. That's it. Levi's gonna sit and look to Lucas and just simply ask, if you happen to get time in your busy schedule, I would like to train with you to get more familiar with combat maneuvers.
Well, certainly.
There's also the thing I've been trying to train with, and that is trying to get something that doesn't usually protect against special moves, actually protect against special moves. We had one instance of it blowing up, one instance of it doing absolutely nothing at all.
Yep.
And then the third instance, we're not actually sure what to attribute that to.
I think it worked. Don't know, though. I barely felt a thing.
See, that tends to happen when you do something that you didn't.
I saw Jirachi do it, that's my thesis.
That's Jirachi. I would research it a little bit before trying to do it.
I learn easier with hands-on, if I'm going to be honest with you.
Hands-on is always nice. is useful, yes. However, learn what you're getting hands-on with.
Look, I don't claim to know how to use Jirachi's blessing all the time. I'm not entirely sure there would even be a book about such a thing. That's why I went with the hands-on approach.
Perhaps talk a little bit with someone who might know.
Okay. Who?
Who knows?
That doesn't help.
I always say, though, if you have any questions, I'm always here.
Assuming he answers said question.
If it's necessary, I do.
I'm not even going to ask. I was going to say something, but I'm going to hold my tongue on it.
You know, however, Alabi, yes, I do know a little bit. But that's for later.
Gonna just do this real fast.
Levi, what are you doing?
Okay. He's not doing anything.
Okay,
He's just
I was about to say, were you about to yoink Felis?
That might not
one
be a good
that'd be
idea.
one that'd be funny. Two, I like living. And three, we're in the tavern environment. That would be very rude and against the rules of regulations, and I don't want to do that with Emmy. Because Emmy is also the guild master, and I don't want to get flipped over.
Wait, you don't want a tavern brawl?
Let's put it like this. We have several people that could kick my butt 6 ways from Sunday.
Let's see, you got Glacy, you got Lucas, you got Felis, you got Zane, you got Celine,
And that's
You
the
got Kuro.
Travelers.
you got Amy, you got Reuben, and you have the Guildmaster as well.
And
Also
Kura.
her.
I did say
She
Kua.
said, he said it, Kua. And there's also the rest of the team. So, yeah, no, I like life.
Honestly, I don't think Olivia would have done anything to stop it because he knows somebody else would.
Someone else will get it. They say as no one else gets it.
And if nobody does, then that's when he just comes across the table.
But yeah, no, like he's not doing it. He's just kind of doing motion motions a safe distance away from everybody else.
Quote unquote safe distance. Meanwhile, the doctor's office literally not even inches away from him.
Look, I'm gonna say the same thing that I said in martial arts. If he punches the wall, it's his own fault. So,
If he hits the table, it's also his own fault.
indeed. Though at the moment, he just stops and ponders ponders before picking it up again. Only to just go over and figure out what he did wrong before looking at Lucas. I'll just let me know when you have time and we'll go.
Go where?
I asked him to help me learn combat maneuvers properly.
How
But
about we make a date later today? This evening.
he looks back to the team, looks at Lucas, looks at Lucas, like then ponders. The play shouldn't take that long. Okay, sure. And with that, he would head down to the others. And just pop over here and ask, well, I'm gonna say this out of character. I have nothing else planned for this session. What about you?
I'm good.
Arzeth?
I'm fine.
8K?
Hey, Padrock. He's muted.
I believe he stepped away.
He said he's back.
Oh,
Oh, back.
I was muted. I'm good.
I heard hey Padrock. Oh, that was Glacy.
Hey, Padrock.
Yeah?
Could you come here for a second?
Sure.
He's taking his cup with him.
I'm like, what are you doing?
I was wondering what that second line was, and then I realized, oh, it's the cup.
So, I've noticed some things regarding your developing ability.
What's that?
You've been manipulating, well, chances.
Here and there. Yeah?
And when you do, what generally happens?
Well, it just kind of does. It's like it almost feels like a book that you're given a couple of options of places to things you could do. Like they could choose, and it's like picking one of them. I've never really seen the effect myself, but I've heard others mention it's like both possibilities play over each other before one side seems to materialize while the other fades.
Something you've seen?
I don't know if I would put it like that exactly.
Remember when we faced Diog?
Yeah, I remember that.
What you saw there, they saw it too. I know you did.
I felt something, like I thought I had dodged a hit that hit me, but it wasn't exactly like I saw them both. More that I felt what thought had happened, but for some reason it hadn't happened.
Yeah. Like yourself, Dialga has the ability to manipulate chances, but to a much greater extent.
Hmm.
That being said, when doing it, I have noticed that it does cause subtle distortions. She just takes a deep breath and takes another sip of her tea. I'm not gonna say your power is going to destroy Cassia by any means. It's so small, but I will say when you use it, try and be careful how much you influence.
Well, it only ever really feels like I can never push small things with it, so I don't think there's really much of a worry there.
And that's good. The less it causes distortions, the better. But at some point, I think I would like to, well, to put it simply, train with you a little bit. Perhaps get you a better grasp on it. If you would like.
If you're offering, sure.
On the subject of another thing, do you remember that document that you found back in the Lumen facility about your entire team?
Yeah, I remember that one.
One thing I did notice that was a little strange, that it's starting to make a little more sense. They said that you have what's called Class 7 telepathy, right?
Yeah.
That may possibly be a manifestation related to your probability power. Knowing that, I feel like if we gain a better understanding of that, then we may be able to get a better understanding of what they're calling your telepathy.
Well, hopefully it would be nice to have a more clear understanding of what that really means for me.
I'm not sure how much I can help you with your telepathic abilities. However, if learning more about your probability powers helps to grasp those, then I will do as well as I can.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
But on the other hand, you may also want to talk more with Alora and perhaps even Rafaro. They may also be able to help you. I know that you've been talking with Alora about another issue, but who knows? Maybe a little bit of cross training won't hurt.
What kind of training would I get from him?
Well, Rafaro has a very strong power over manipulating and mental anything to do with the mind, really. Do you remember when he was helping us to dive into a mill stream? Memories.
Mhm.
He has that ability where he can. It makes sense, doesn't it? I apologize if I'm not really sounding too concise. It's been a long day. I've had a lot to think about.
I think we all have.
Later on, when I get my thoughts a little more straight, I might be able to talk with you about things to make more sense.
Hmm.
That said, that's all I really have to discuss with you at this time.
Alright, well, thank you very much for the offer of training.
Of course. Anytime you feel you're up for it, just come let me know.
Okay.
Take care of yourself, okay?
You too.
Just goes back to drinking her tea.
All right. Nani?
So, that is the end of the session. Unless
Hold the
anyone
fuck
else has something to say.
Hold the fuck up. Hold the fuck up. I heard that. I have questions. What the fuck?
What did they say?
Did no one else hear this?
I did.
Okay.
Are you talking about the WoW thing, or
No!
No, it was what came before that.
I must have missed it?
It was like a heartbeat or something like that.
Oh,
I don't know what you mean.
I see.
Usually in Final Fantasy, that sound is then followed by a memory flashback.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh.
That's...
Although, given time, we are pressed for it.
Indeed.
It is now time for Zip Time.
If everyone is about good, I think we can call it a session.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Alright. So... that brings us to the end of session 77. Fun little town session. Nothing bad happened. Everyone was okay. Right?
Except the dummies. Although, thank you for not doing the, thank you for not turning the Substitute Dolls into Weeping Angels. I highly appreciate that.
2 dolls and the Weeping Angels. What?
There was a video that I showed them earlier, and I'm like, don't do this. Like, when I saw the dummy, that's exactly what came to mind. I'm like, don't you do this.
Don't you do
Don't
this?
you fucking do this. Don't, please, don't do. Thank you for not doing that, because I do not vibe with that. Goodbye. I'll show you the video later, Joseph. Anyway.
Does anyone have anything they want to talk about while I am loading up the few pictures that we have?
Not at the moment. I'm glad that I have a silly idea that we can do off screen, because I'm like, what's a good idea that's something that we can do as a team together that's not rescue related? I'm like, We haven't touched Ritzville in a while. They've been enjoying their prosperity. We could go catch a play in the fancy area.
We've never been to Ritzville.
Exactly. And we're just gonna go there for a bit and just travel there as a team and do something not rescue related for once. And then we can encounter that one idiot that's like sees us walking around with badges, like, shouldn't y'all be saving lives or something instead of here? And it's like, shouldn't you? Shouldn't? No, not really. We've done that already.
You?
I do have some thoughts on things. That's it. Like, I guess the most pressing towards Battlegrounds stuff would be, like, I'm still a bit confused out of character why the loose room training is necessary.
Why the what training?
Sorry, I might have the wrong name. Loose room?
Booster?
Loose Rin. The L name.
Lucerne?
As a-
Lucent? I don't know what he's talking about.
Type it.
Like, there's Allura, and then there was the other one that was mentioned.
Or Pharaoh.
Was it Referral?
Yes.
Yes. The Ninetales.
Yeah, I'm still like, because it, like, given that it's the subject that Allura says, I'm not sure why it can't be that character that does that training with him. Whatever that ends up being.
Allura and Raphael both can help. They can basically fill what each other isn't able to. That makes any sense.
But that still doesn't really tell me, like, what that is.
Well, Raphael is better at mental manipulation than Allura is. Allura is best at dream weaving.
I think we'll get more into nitty gritty of what the difference is about that later on.
Okay, we'll talk about that later. I definitely saw what you did with the Ho-Oh in the note there.
Yeah.
Wondering what you want to do with that. My current hypothesis is the toxicity. But it feels weird that you have the, like, 5 characters that have been party members and one that's completely like something else. That feels like a bit of an odd pattern. On a positive note, I loved the whole conversation about off-color Del Foxes.
That was funny.
Sorry for getting off straight. I did love all of your parts as well.
And I saw the opportunity. I had to go with it. I'm not sorry.
So, you call it off-color Del Foxes. I call it off-brand Del Foxes.
Fun fact, I did actually consider blue for Padrock because of the Xerneas thing.
Fair.
Yeah, like,
But you also had Blue Eaton.
yeah. Well, that's something else entirely. Like, I was thinking of, like, like more full Xerneas for Padrocks, like the blue and gray.
It's just like we got pink, we got blue, we got red, and we got slate gray. Except he doesn't become a Delphox, he's just a Brigson.
Yeah, but the last note I have is, like, I'm not quite sure that the Victorious stuff makes complete sense.
The what?
Like the whole, like, the Espeon with Prematorius power.
So that dives into a point that Lucy always mentioned before, where the bond between two beings in very different time periods is basically causing what she tried to stop by breaking Promontory's hold from everyone in the modern day.
More so that the just because of plot points from Rise, such as you mentioned that the current pieces, they'd have to be destroyed to defeat Tremors in the campaign, but that's all just
we'll probably
potential conflict, but that those are just small notes that I've had.
We'll get more into it later on.
Mm-hmm.
But does everyone want to look at pictures?
Sure.
We have a few. I don't really know if we have more than these, but we can get into those. So, first one was posted by Lone.
It's a meme, but it's still a funny meme.
I remember this one.
You've all been Delphoxed.
You've all been
Get
Delphoxed
wrecked.
at gunpoint.
I have now been undelphoxed. Now you can carry the burden.
Joke's on you, we're on the stream, we all don't carry the burden. Meanwhile, everybody in chat, your fault,
Yeah.
your problem now.
Smile.
Yeah. But then again, the Delphoxes are immune because they already are Delphox. AKA Patra.
So that was posted by Lone. Hi, Lone. The next one is a picture drawn by Spitaros.
Uh-oh, what'd they cook up this time?
I believe that is you, Paulo.
It's an Apollo.
I need to wait for the stream to update. Alternatively, I can just refresh it.
Look at him, he's got that cute
Yes.
little button nose.
I actually remarked on this earlier. It was very well done.
Them chonky legs.
He just brushed himself out, so of course it looks bigger.
Jay
No,
Charles
Paulo's
really
proud of his coat, all right?
Side effect. Well, guess I'm a Delphox now. There are worse fates. That is 100% true.
So this is a picture from Spitaros. I believe that's it.
I wanted to say this, girls. We really appreciate getting our meal. Thank you for all the pieces you've done for us over the last couple of sessions.
I'm still
Same.
adoring over the freaking two Fennekins being read a story by Glacy. I'm just adored by that.
Yo,
He just wants to keep them up to date. But the last one is a picture from Twitter that Lone posted in regarding to a Delphox with wings.
Oh yeah, the Serafox. As I once called it. See, I was talking with Glacy about that a little while ago in DMs, and I asked myself the question, if Delphox is flying type, would that make them a Seraphim, aka Serafox? If the wings were part of the robe rather than the actual arms. Because when you think about it, it would make sense.
All right.
Perhaps. I believe that is all of them.
Well, this was fun tonight.
The Prima is taking this week off, so we won't be raiding her. Who do you think we should raid?
The Chew is currently doing art.
But you...
Who do you
She's
think
doing
that?
art. I can see a couple of other friends that are playing Helldivers too.
Too many
I was going to
Helldivers.
jokingly suggest Twitch plays Pokemon.
Speaking
That's
of-
a thing still?
Yeah, they're currently on Sun and Moon. They looks like they've been going through all of the games.
Christ, that's impressive.
Speaking of Helldivers, apparently they won Malevelon Creek and it's already under attack again.
Oh, that's expected. I'm gonna say the Chew.
Yeah, let's raid mutuals. You want to put the Chew in the chat?
The Achu, if you will. Like a certain someone did in session.
They did it a few times. Alright, so we will be raiding Hyenachu. They are currently drawing, looks like art for a friend. Pokemon warm-up, Silly Zakito. Alright, so hope you guys enjoyed the session. We will be most likely coming back next week unless something comes up. Yeah, have fun with some art, and hope you guys come back soon. Take care.
We
Take care.
Night, everyone.